Hey y'all, welcome back to Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks. Today we're sitting down with Jessica Sims of Cool River Tubing. Every summer, Cool River employs over 80 students to keep the river, outpost, and aerial adventure course running smoothly. She knows a whole lot about the biggest rude awakenings that kids face when trading the classroom for the workplace. Whether you're a local business owner looking to manage Gen Z, a parent wondering how summer jobs build real-world career skills, or a student wondering how to ace the interview, this episode is packed with major takeaways. So let's dive in.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Chamber Chicks. I'm Beth.
And I'm Kayla.
And we're back today talking with about student hiring and how you can find new and exciting ways to fill the positions in your business. And we're here today with Jessica from Cool River Tubing. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being on the podcast today.
We're so excited to have her.
I'm excited.
She's such a busy woman, like getting her nailed down.
I know. I feel so blessed that you took time out of your busy summer. Cause
she really does. I mean, you know, it's June, right, when we're filming this podcast. I looked at my watch like I didn't know what month it was. Yes, it is June. So it's June when we're filming this episode, and I know that life for you and Helen and at Cool River is super, super busy
right now.
And with all the many business ventures that you and your family have. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
I know. Well, you know, you have a lot of different businesses and you have a very diverse workforce, different jobs in each of those businesses. How many high school or college students do you hire every year?
Yeah. So at Cool River right now, on our roster, there's 130 staff members total.
Holy cow.
It's pretty typical for our full swing summer season. And 65% of those are students. And so that's 84 student staff members right now. And just so, you know, anybody listening who's not very familiar with Cool River knows, we have been, you know, tubing on the Chattahoochee for 30 years in Helen. And we have 2 outposts. At our northern outpost, we also have an aerial adventure park.
Which is so much fun.
A seasonal cafe, Headwaters Cafe is up there. And then at our exit outpost, we also have an ice cream, coffee, and smoothie shop, Sunny Spot. And so we have a variety of roles for students to do. Students make up the majority of 3 of those positions that we hire for. And, you know, it's the river crew, the aerial crew, and the clerk crew that they fill the majority of those roles.
Sure. That aerial team is very skilled.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, those are folks that come back year over year.
Often.
Yeah.
So what are some, I mean, that's a significant number of student employees. What are some things that you look for specifically when you're hiring someone that's that much younger?
Well, overall, teamwork, communication, and a commitment to safety are going to be important for any role that we're hiring for. But we're also looking for a positive attitude. You know, it's helpful if someone can keep the team encouraged when things are getting busy or difficult. And we do have some really hot days on the summer. So that's important. And we have to hire for dependability, of course. You know, we have to have people show up. And then we're also looking at just creativity, some problem solving skills, you know, some experience in thinking on your feet and looking for solutions to problems.
When dealing with a student workforce, what do you think is the biggest realization or like rude awakening that you see in the students when they go from the classroom to the workforce? What do you think is the biggest challenge?
Right now, phone usage is probably the biggest rude awakening.
That'd be hard to have your phone in the middle of the river. Or as you're, I don't know, maybe they're holding it while they're ziplining.
Yeah. And I think, you know, students right now, they're so addicted. It's just like the devices and the apps are created to addict us and, you know, keep us scrolling. And so people are genuinely surprised when they show up to work and scrolling on the phone isn't allowed, that, you know, we can't have that.
Plays into the whole safety issue that you have.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in a lot of roles, it is safety critical, and it's just, you have to have zero tolerance, you know, no having your phones out. But even in the other roles where it isn't necessarily safety critical, it's about guest experience and also their own ability to concentrate and focus at work. And so that is the biggest shock. It ties into a bigger shock, I think, of just like general accountability, you know, needing to show up to work. When you're in the classroom, you might be able to, you know, skip a day or come in late, turn in an assignment later, and it really affects just you and your grade. But you're on a team when you go to work,
Right.
and somebody is going to be doing your job.
Cause and
to the sun.
effect, right? When you don't show up, somebody has to cover.
Absolutely.
Valid point.
Yeah, that's such a good point. That's definitely, I don't think that, you know, oftentimes they don't think about or just people in general, not
People
just
in
students,
general, yeah.
don't think about that team component of, there's very few jobs that are truly just you and you have no interaction with anyone else.
I can't think of them.
Yeah.
No. And it's a different type of pressure
Yeah.
than just your grade. And you think, well, it's just this class. No, it's like someone else's experience and, you know, the service that your business is offering.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, you know, like you said, you'll have a lot of different roles, but in a lot of what y'all do, it's not just scooping ice cream. And if you know, don't scoop a big enough scoop, you know, someone's unhappy or whatever, but there is legitimate life safety issues on the
Absolutely.
water and
Right.
you've got to be on top of it, you know,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of, maybe some students might get that, but some might not until they really see it in action.
It takes reminders, yeah. And we try to like really push proactive thinking, you know, for all of our students and recognizing situations before they become problems,
Mhm.
you know, but that is new for some students.
Yeah.
I love what you said about it impacts someone else's experience. Because I guess, you know, sometimes you don't think about that, but that's probably somebody's birthday party or a family reunion. Or, yeah, it's some special moment in their life that they'll remember for a very long time. And the level of service that you deliver is impactful.
It is, yeah. Yeah. And of course, you know, students have a lot going on.
Right.
And so we try to get ahead of it and, you know, build in flexibility and find ways to make sure that we have enough people taking care of guests.
Well, we'll be right back after a quick break. Love the show? Take 2 seconds to hit the like, subscribe, or follow button. It honestly means the world to us and allows us to keep making podcasts just like this one. Plus, liking the video costs you nothing, but it helps grow the chamber and our business community in a big way. So hit like, subscribe, and follow, and let's get back to the show. So aside from a paycheck, what do you feel really motivates your student workforce, and how do you know, what is the best motivator for them?
I think there are many, just depending on the student. So, you know, the outdoors is one. For those students for whom it's just really hard to be miserable since they're outside working on the river in the summer, they like the natural environment.
Sun and the fresh air.
Right.
So good.
Right. And then there's others that it is more the social environment. So, you know, they make friends and they get to see their friends at work every day. And they even come back the next season to see the same friends. That's a big motivator. Aside from that, though, I think all students are wanting to take responsibility. They're excited to be in the workforce and being given real tasks and real roles. And so they get some confidence from everything that they do. Like every new task that they accomplish is a little bit of confidence, and it's motivating.
It is for all of us. Same way with me. I get that. Absolutely. But what challenges do you face with particularly a student workforce, and how do you overcome those?
And especially with so many people spread across so many different
the
roles and even
footprint.
locations.
And personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, just the sheer number of them.
Yes, there are several challenges, and hiring is a big one. So we hire for 5 seasonal positions every summer, and students make up the majority of 3 of those: our river crew, our clerk crew, and our aerial crew. And as a river staff, you know, you're dealing with equipment, you're working customer service, and then also on the clerk crew, you're doing customer service, ticketing, and check-in. And then the aerial crew obviously is guiding people through those area obstacle courses. We hire supervisors for those positions as well, all those crews, and then bus drivers as well. And it is a large hiring process. So we at least are hiring 50 people each season. And with the students, the biggest problem is reliability and no-shows.
Right.
So from the hiring process on, we have an issue with reliability. And we try to just set really clear expectations up front about that, but also try to build in team culture to address it.
Mm-hmm. I think the social aspect, you mentioned that earlier, how the social aspect is bonding for them. I'm sure it is there.
Yeah, they don't want to leave their friends shorthanded.
Right.
So
that
helps. It does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is not, while it may be a summer job, in reality, in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot bigger than just a summer job. You know, some of the positions that y'all hire for are where people are learning valuable skills at an entry point in the workforce that they will carry on no matter what job that they end up at later on, whether it's the next summer or whether it's, you know, post high school or post graduation or wherever life takes them. So what do you feel like are some of the transferable skills that either students learn or you hope that they learn, right?
Right.
From their time with you.
Instill in them.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I think there can be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it does come down a lot to student mindset about that. If they approach it like this is just my summer job, then it is harder.
Mm-hmm.
But customer service is the obvious one. So learning to be friendly and professional, no matter how difficult guests are being, no matter how hard your day has been, how tired you are, that's something that's going to be useful throughout any professional life. And then there's also just workplace essentials, time management, initiative, learning to take initiative for tasks before you're asked to do so. That's something that we explicitly value, and I know every workplace does. And then otherwise, I think that Cool River being a outdoor-based job in particular, there's a lot of resilience built because you're working outdoors. And then there's also safety awareness because you're dealing with weather, changing conditions, and safety situations. And that type of proactive thinking, attention to detail, and safety procedures is useful for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Professionally or not.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily in every, you know, typical summer job. You're not having to make decisions and do things in the way that y'all are because, I mean, y'all have to move on a dime if a storm comes up or, you know, so that's a very different situation.
And everybody's not just together. Like you have people spread out in a lot of different places. So, you know, just awareness of everything is so good. And the accountability, you've said it several times and I just love it. It's just understanding your role in the bigger picture, right? And so, and as we work with some adults who could use that, right? That your awareness of how your behavior impacts those around you. That's it. That's significant.
I know this wasn't one of our questions we originally talked about, but if there is someone listening that either they're looking for a summer job or maybe they have a child that's looking for a summer job, what sort of advice would you give them to, you know, make sure they're presenting themselves the best way or putting their best foot forward?
Yeah. So from our resumes, like from that perspective, something that stands out is just the time and effort to complete a full picture of the candidate. You know, we receive a lot of applications. They open in January, and by the spring, we've received a lot of submissions. And it just stands out if, you know, someone has actually given a full picture of who they are, what they've done. We look especially for any teamwork experience, sports, of course, but not just sports, also school groups, clubs, other workplaces, anything that shows they have made a commitment, followed through with it, and have worked with other people.
I love that because we do a lot of mock interviews at the high school, and it'll in conversation, you know, you read a resume and then in conversation they'll say, "Oh yeah, well I finished my whatever fill in the blank pathway," and I'm like, "Well, that's not on your
put that
list."
here.
And they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, I did that and I love it and that's what I want to do for a career." And then I'm like, "Well, how many years was that?" And they're like, 3 years. And I'm like, you didn't commit that, you know, that's a great commitment. And so I think that's a great, because sometimes people get so locked into, well, I just want to highlight this, or I can't, you know, do my sports or my clubs, or I
only talk about how I'm Word certified or something, Office certified or something.
And I love that, to create a whole picture, because
Yeah, and it does not matter if you have work experience before, because we get a lot of 16-year-olds
Right?
applying, and it's going to be their first job, their first time interviewing. And so many of them do tell us, well, I didn't put anything on my resume because I've never worked anywhere, but they've been involved in 6 extracurriculars.
Sure. Right.
And they just think that
But
that's
they're on the, yearbook staff, and it took them a whole year to put that thing together.
Yeah.
Put that on there. Yeah.
Or like I interviewed a girl one time and she was like, well, I never worked anywhere, so I didn't put anything. And then she mentioned that she has like 6 brothers and sisters that she keeps every single night. Like, and I was like, girl, you are really managing a lot of chaos here. Okay. Like, so that's great.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, thank you for hiring our kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to start somewhere. In the grand scheme of workforce development, we talk about a lot of things, and we spend a lot of time. Our members ask us, our challenge is the employability skills, and then we look, and it's you are teaching those employability skills by hiring them at 16 years old. So.
Yeah, we have so many staff members, start at 16, they start on the river, and then they stick with us every summer through their entire education. We have staff members getting master's degrees.
Right.
And yeah, they've taken away a lot over the seasons. I hear it a lot too. I hear a lot of people come back and say, Cool River did prepare me. It turns out I didn't think it would, but it prepared me for what came next.
Very sneaky.
Yeah.
I've interviewed a lot of kids at the high school that, they will list either that they, currently are back year over year or worked before. And everyone is just always giving great examples of their problem solving ability, or different things. So I love to hear any member. I love to hear, the kids talking about real life examples of the skills that they have taken away from what they thought would just be just a job, just a little cash or whatever. So
right. It's not just a summer job. Yeah. And the work-based learning program at the high school has really helped with that too. Since that has gotten started, we've had a handful every year who are in that program, and it makes them think more about, what they're actually taking away and be more intentional about what do I want to learn from this? What am I getting out of it?
That's exceptional.
I love that.
Yeah. Building
a
great work.
Thanks so much for joining
These guys
us.
Are just doing the best job.
I know.
I'm so
I
excited.
always love seeing you.
It's more than a tube, friends. It's more than a tube.
Well, Beth, do you want to ask our favorite question?
Here's our hard-hitting question. We had to have one we didn't warn you about. So this is Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks, and we got to know, what's your go-to coffee order?
Oh, well, my husband is Italian, and so he's serious about his coffee, and we use a mocha pot in the morning. So that's just espresso in the morning. But if I'm out, then I get a dirty chai. Always.
Okay. Very good. It's always interesting. We love it.
I know. I love to see what everyone's go-to is.
Shockingly enough, we have a lot of people who don't drink coffee. So we have decided there's just more for us.
Sure.
Which I figured that wouldn't be the case with you, because I was you have a hectic life. Like,
yeah,
sure,
you have to have it.
To have some coffee, but you never know.
We ask. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for all the great work that you're doing and taking care of all the visitors that we have coming into Helen. A lot of them are hanging out with you on an afternoon. So we appreciate y'all so much.
We try. Thank you.
Thank y'all for joining us on this episode of Coffee Break with the Chamber Chicks. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow us on all the places so that you can continue to watch episodes that help you grow your business more and give you a little bit of insight into what's going on in our community. So you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Music. So make sure to check us out on all the places. And until next time, we will see you. Love you. Bye.